Stop thinking about our ancestors as two separate species living in completely different worlds. What if I told you that for 20,000 years, Neanderthals and modern humans weren't just neighbors? They were actually sharing the same cultural playbook. Today we are diving into a shocking discovery from a cave in southern Tuaca that proves these groups exchanged ideas, created similar art, and even traded in shells. This changes everything we thought we knew about human evolution, showing that our shared culture started way earlier than science ever imagined. Stick around because this is going to blow your mind. Deep in the winding valleys of southern Tuaca lies Usajisli II Cave, a location that has been waiting for archaeologists to unlock its secrets. For decades, the prevailing theory was stark and simple. Neanderthals were rugged survivors of the ice ages who lived in isolated groups, while modern humans arrived later as clever tricksters who quickly outpaced them culturally. We imagined they spoke different languages, hunted differently, and worshipped entirely separate deities. But the artifacts found here tell a completely different story. The evidence points to a massive overlap that defies easy categorization. Researchers have uncovered hunting tools made from mammoth ivory that bear such striking similarities in design and craftsmanship that it is nearly impossible to distinguish them from those produced by modern humans hundreds of miles away. These aren't just crude scavenger hatches. They are sophisticated, standardized implements, suggesting a shared knowledge base passed down through generations. Furthermore, the presence of specific shell ornaments found in Neanderthal burial sites provides the smoking gun. These weren't random decorations. They were symbols of identity and status, indicating that both groups were engaged in complex social rituals using the same visual language. It turns out that for at least 20,000 years, these two species were not moving through an empty world, but were actually occupying the same corridors of culture, trading ideas along coastlines and river valleys that connected them all. The implications of this discovery go far beyond just finding identical tools. It suggests a profound exchange of symbolic traditions that bridged the gap between species. We often think of art and symbols as purely human achievements, something that emerged only when our brain reached its full potential around 50,000 years ago. But the artifacts from Usajisli II suggest that Neanderthals were participating in this same cultural revolution alongside us. The shell beads found in these caves are not just jewelry. They represent a shared conceptual framework for meaning-making. When you see the same type of bead appearing in contexts associated with both groups, it implies a cross-pollination of ideas. It suggests that when a modern human group passed through this region, they didn't just bring tools, they brought concepts. Perhaps they introduced new hunting techniques based on animal tracking patterns that Neanderthals then adopted and refined over thousands of years. Or perhaps they shared stories, rituals around fire, or even musical traditions that relied on specific rhythmic patterns encoded in bone flutes. The fact that these symbolic systems evolved together for such a long period indicates a level of interaction that was continuous and significant. It wasn't a series of brief encounters. It was a sustained, decades-long collaboration where both groups were actively contributing to the evolution of human culture. This evidence forces us to completely abandon the notion that our ancestors lived in isolated bubbles. The old narrative painted Neanderthals as a separate branch on the evolutionary tree, cut off from the main trunk of modern humanity by vast distances and time. But the data from Tuaca shatters this glass ceiling. If we look at the distribution of these shell-collecting traditions across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, it becomes clear that there was no geographic barrier too large to ignore. The overlap in cultural practices suggests a fluid landscape where groups migrated, met, and integrated knowledge. Imagine walking into a modern city today where you see people from different nations wearing similar fashion styles or following the same social media trends. That is essentially what happened for thousands of years between Neanderthals and modern humans. They were sharing a common cultural stream. The fact that they developed similar hunting practices and tool-making techniques implies a deep, mutual learning process. One species didn't just copy the other, they co-evolved their culture. This challenges the idea that modern humans were inherently superior in every way from day one. Instead, it suggests that through thousands of years of interaction, Both groups pushed each other to become smarter, more adaptable, and culturally richer than either could have been alone. The isolation myth is dead, and in its place stands a new story of shared destiny. So, why does this matter so much today? Because understanding our deep history helps us understand who we are now. If Neanderthals and modern humans spent 20,000 years building a shared cultural foundation, then culture itself is not something that emerged overnight out of nowhere. It is something that thrives on connection, exchange, and the willingness to learn from others, regardless of your biological background or group identity. This ancient collaboration teaches us a powerful lesson about resilience and adaptation. Our ancestors didn't just survive, they thrived by opening their minds and incorporating new ideas from those around them. In our modern world, where we often see ourselves divided into warring camps based on race, nationality, or ideology, this history offers a different perspective. It shows that cooperation and cultural exchange are natural parts of the human experience, not just for humans, but for the species that preceded us as well. We carry the genetic and cultural DNA of these long-lasting partnerships within us today. The next time you see something unique that someone else has done differently than you, remember that our ancestors did it too. They were part of a global conversation that spanned millennia, proving that we are all connected in ways that go far deeper than bloodlines or geography. The discovery at Usajisli II Cave is more than just an archaeological find. It is a revelation about our shared humanity. It proves that for 20,000 years, Neanderthals and modern humans were partners in culture, sharing tools, symbols, and ideas to build a world they could both call home. This story challenges everything we thought we knew about evolution and reminds us of the power of connection. If this video gave you a new perspective on our ancient past, hit that like button so more people can see it, and subscribe for more deep dives into history that change how we see ourselves. Drop a comment below telling me which part of this story surprised you the most. Let's keep the conversation going about what these findings mean for us today.